So I've been sitting with this question for a while now, not because I'm waiting for someone to answer it for me, but because I think the answer reveals something about how we see ourselves and how we want to be seen. When can you call yourself a YouTuber? Is it when you hit 1,000 subscribers? When YouTube says you're monetized? When someone you don't know leaves a comment? Or is it something more personal than that? Something quieter? Like the moment you spend an entire afternoon editing a video that might get 20 views and you do it anyway. So I've been posting videos for a while now. Just this year alone, I've posted over 150 videos because I've been uploading every single day for the year of 2025. That's a challenge that I set for myself with literally no expectations. I don't know if I'm gonna gain a following from this or like a huge following. I don't know if it's gonna replace my full-time income. But I'm doing it anyways because I think that it is a goal that is achievable for me and a goal that will bring me a bunch of benefits. And not every day is easy, each day has its own tasks, its own challenges, if you will, and not every single day is the same. Every single day is actually different. Even though there are days where I'm like at home all the time, the things that I do at home are different. And I think that's what keeps it fresh. And that's what allows me to keep going and not get bored of this sort of work because it doesn't feel like work to me. And there are days where you just don't feel like showing up. You don't feel like making a video, but you have to kind of get over those humps because if you think about it, if you want it that badly, if you want this to be your full-time job, if you want to be able to provide for your family doing something that you love, then you don't get a choice or a say whether if you want to do it or not, or like your feelings don't get a say, is what I'm trying to say. But even though, like my feelings, I don't feel like recording a video, deep down, I know that it's what feels right to me. This feels like something that I want to be doing for the rest of my life, which kind of sounds very extravagant or big, but I definitely believe that deep down. Even having said all of that, I still hesitate to call myself a YouTuber. I think the biggest challenge for me is because I'm not getting a full-time income or like the amount that for me to call myself a YouTuber. Maybe deep down I think that a YouTuber is someone who gets paid to make this sort of content. But is it really? I don't know. Maybe I'm not the only one who feels that way, but that's just like one of my doubts for just calling myself a YouTuber. I think that's another reason why am sort of hesitant to film outside, just because like, oh, you're a YouTuber, that's cool. Can I see your channel? You have less than 10,000. That's pretty good still, but they take a look at the views and they're like, oh, okay, each video gets like double digit views, like 10, 20 views, like 1 or 2 likes, and that's it. The internet makes it so easy to compare yourself to people you'll probably never meet, to creators with studio setups, millions of views, sponsorships you've only dreamed of, and suddenly, YouTuber feels like a title that's earned instead of chosen. But I don't think it works that way, because the word YouTuber doesn't belong to the people with the highest views. It belongs to the ones who keep going. The ones making videos in their bedroom with natural light and a mic that sometimes cuts out. The ones who are still figuring it out but keep showing up. If we only give ourselves labels once we've made it, we'll never feel like we belong. And we'll always feel like we're just pretending to be something we already are. So following up on what I talked about previously, I think that part of the problem is how public everything is on YouTube. And maybe it's not that the problem itself is that everything is public. And what I mean by that is like the views, the likes, the comments, the subscribers that you have. And like, the stats being there is not the problem itself. I think it's just how we define success because of those numbers. So the more subscribers you have, the more engagement that you have on your post, the more successful you are as a YouTuber. But we all know that that's not true. There are a bunch of smaller accounts on YouTube that have less than 10,000 subscribers that are making a whole lot more money. That isn't in correlation to YouTube ad revenue or affiliate marketing. They have their own courses that help people, that help a specific people to achieve what they want to achieve. They're essentially solving a problem. But like disregarding all of the numbers and the stats and whatever and stuff like that, it was just going back onto topic. That's not why most of us started. We started because we had a passion to create, whether it is to just talk about the things that we liked on YouTube or to teach people how to do something. It's our passion to just create content, upload them, and inspire people, motivate people, teach people new things, or share our experiences with one another. I didn't make videos because I wanted to be famous. I started because I had something I wanted to say. I want to document, to remember, to turn my thoughts into something tangible. And if you're anything like me, you've probably questioned whether any of it matters, if anyone is really watching, if you're good enough, if this will ever turn into something more. But the fact that you keep creating, even with all those doubts, that's what makes you a YouTuber. Not the numbers, not the gear, just the act of showing up again and again, even when no one asks you to. I don't know, maybe this video is sort of like a reminder to myself. Maybe it could serve as a reminder to you as well. I think from now on, maybe I should start calling myself a YouTuber, because a bunch of us do spend too much time waiting, not just in the sense of not starting, but waiting to be validated, waiting for the right moment. But honestly, I think the truth is the moment is right now. If you are creating content, if you are putting up YouTube videos on YouTube, then I feel like you can consider yourself a YouTuber, whether if you have 100,000 subscribers or whether if you have 1 subscriber or whether you're just starting out and you have no subscribers. If you're on YouTube, I don't think anyone should discourage one another and be like, you only have 10 subscribers, you're not a YouTuber. I feel like, this should all be encouraging you. Like, it shouldn't have to be like that to where you're putting someone down just because of a number. Again, someone that's more successful than you isn't going to be putting you down, isn't going to be teasing you about what you're trying to start, about what you're trying to create. So maybe the real question isn't, when can I call myself a YouTuber? Maybe it's, what am I waiting for? You don't need a plaque, you don't need permission. You just need to keep creating, even when it's quiet, even when it's small, even when it feels like no one notices. Because that's where the magic is. That's where you become the kind of creator you've always wanted to be. One video at a time. Hey, I'm Jason. I don't have 1 million subs, I don't have it all figured out, but I make videos. I show up, and that's enough. I'm a YouTuber, and if you're creating too, maybe you are too.